find himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Good morning and welcome to the OGRL Coffee Cup Round 8 from VIR. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Zabi is going to come along and join us for what plans to be an epic morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world of racing. 5.22 kilometers in length, this circuit, 17 turns. And it's going to be, well, very, very exciting indeed. Let's bring you up to date with the current standings here as well. In the AMS, it's Daniel Marie out in front with Gary Spencer in second and JT Sawyer in third. On that one, you can see the points difference, 247, 235 and 234. Then you've got Mike Elliott, Joey Means, Heath Ollinger, Scott Carlson, James Hillerick, Jose Valentin, Clyde Comfort, Cameron Risley, Matthew Brennan, Brian LaPrat, Curtis Matthews, Jesus Gonzalez, Jeff Sepulveda, Todd Fuller, Jim Cunningham, Jason Hall and Mike Brady. In the Pro-Ams at the moment in time, it is Mr. Bradley Tidwell out in front by a 6 9 points. They're over Quinton Price with Pernell Hanley in third. Then you got Mark Bolton, William Bailey, Brian Hoskins, Williams, Barry Acker, Michael Chapman, Kenny Bourgeois, Eric Gainsell, Nicholas Marshall, Jeff Shrewsbury, George Parfitt, Stuart Gibbons, Micah Dickinson and Hutchinson, Justin Cook, Dan Svorak, Chase Allgray and Tyson Green. In the in the pro standings at this moment in time, it's Joshua Heron out in front on 3.62 with Bradley Lovins in second and Jeremy Cheney in third. Bill Backer in fourth with Rich Modric in fifth. Then you got Sean Riley, Cole Modric, Ryan Merriam, Michael Dione, Brian Dudkowski, Alan Purser, last week's winner David Venroy. Then you got Philippe De La Cruz, Mitchell Bowen, Kenneth Clodden, Damien Horvaton, Caleb Polacock, Marshall Crocker Jr. and Carlos Padilla there as well. And you've also got Roy Carroll is in the mix once more. Thanks so much for joining us. If you are here, welcome in and look forward to having what plans to be a very interesting race. Just coming towards the end of practice at the moment. I can give you a rundown of the overalls. Damien Horvaton out in front on a 1:44.585 with David Venroy sitting in second place. And you've got Ryan Merriam, Josh Heron, Sean Riley, Alan Purser, Jeremy Cheney. Then you've got Jonathan Williams and Bradley Tidwell in the Pro-Ams. Jeff Shrewsbury, Kenny Bourgeois, Dan Svorak, Quinton Price, Mark Bolton, Pernell Hanley. Now, a lot of drivers, I will be honest with you, have struggled with this circuit. It's a very tight, twisty circuit. The main overtaking straight is going to be that run down from turn 12 down into turn 14, which is the Oak Tree, which is that long run into the roller coaster. That's going to be the main opportunities for overtaking if they can make it through. But let's bring Zabi into the booth. Good afternoon to you, sir. Hope you are well.
Good afternoon. Quite excited for the race now, qualifying now as the practice just comes to an end for this fantastic Grand Prix out there.
Yeah, the guys running around in practice at the moment, just basically sitting back, chilling, getting some practice in before they go into that one lap style qualifying. Don't forget, we've got 55-minute race, 60% fuel. They will have to make a pit stop. Pit strategy here, Zabi, going to be out of plenty, I think, as some of these drivers are going to choose to overcut or undercut.
Absolutely, it's really crucial, and especially some of the drivers might end up just winning on the strategy. Sometimes you can't overtake out on track, but get a better strategy than the other and end up being the better one out there.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the thing that these drivers are going to have to be aware of. Don't forget, if you have joined us in YouTube for the first time, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing. We've got currently 49 cars out on the racetrack. 49, yes, you heard me correctly, 49 GT3s taking part in this race. We've got Croatians, Americans, Canadians, Dutch, British drivers out there as well. Dean Murray Carroll and also Stuart Gibbons with George Parfitt in this one. Nick Marshall, another Englishman, and then you've got all Americans after that. So some of these Americans are up very, very early indeed to take part in this series. So it could be very, very interesting to see. Am I expecting the 48 cars to finish? Well, no. To be blatantly honest with you, I think there's going to be some that will be out or will make mistakes. This track does unfortunately lend itself to that scenario where drivers will make a mistake. It's going to be very, very tough for some of them. We have just jumped over into the 15 minutes of qualifying. Midnight there. 49. Wow. I know. Tell me about it. Just let's hope everybody survives. But I really can't see it here, Zabi. This amount of cars, this tight circuit. Surely we're not going to get all 49 finished.
Absolutely, and especially the start. First, they're trying to get the better of themselves in qualifying, but then into the start, be really careful and not really hurry up and be a hero into one. It absolutely will be a long race, and surely going to take some patience out of these drivers to finish, all of them to finish. But I'm sure not all are pretty much going to finish, as you said, but there is a chance maybe they can finish. But absolutely, they'll have to be really patient, especially at the start, if they have to be coming into the end of the race with 49 all remaining in this race.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They're going to have to make sure they can keep an eye on as well. Coming into that turn one, it is very, very tough for them to go. It's a tight right-hander here, and they're going to be... Well, yeah, I'm hoping that we don't see drama, but I've got a funny feeling we will see drama here as well. Let's pick up on David Van Roy, last week's winner in the Pros. And he's on his run now down into South Bend, the left-hander. This will be a very, very interesting run from David Van Roy. It's going to be opening up with some times on the board here. What sort of time is he going to be able to get? It's going to be very, very tricky. He's down by the roller coaster, excuse me, in turn 15 now, the left-hander. Then he goes into turn 16A, which is actually named the Hog Pen, and then round for turn 17 and along the front stretch. Let's take you on board for a lap with David Van Roy of VIR. You can see he keeps it tight to the apex there as well. He's looking for the braking mark on the left-hand side, down to about 2. Down on the brakes he goes into the horseshoe, the right-hander. That's the turn where we expect most of the guys to have their own little dramas. Now we're on the run down into NASCAR Bend, turn 3, the left-hander now into left hook, the next left-hander here. Now we've got a short, sharp little run up into 4A. Left we go, tucking it in through the right-hander now of 4B, and then we've got 5A, 5B, all through the Twisty S's section or through the snake section of the race circuit before we get out onto that little bit of a run up to turn 7, which is this left-hander. Then turn 8A, which is the right-hander, turn 8B, turn 9, the right-hander as well, on the brakes down into South Bend, turn 10, coming into what was the old oak tree. That tree is no longer there, hence it's not here on the race section. Got struck by lightning and then had to be removed from the circuit. Now this is where we're expecting most of the overtakes to take place. This run down the backstretch from Oak Tree right the way down into the roller coaster. What you do want to make sure that you are doing is your overtake has got to be done by the time you at least can get down here. Right about here, you want this done. So if you've got to chance 2 side by side down here, it's not going to work. Round the right-hander of the roller coaster, now through the left-hander. Here as well we go 15 through 16A, coming into 16B, round the hog pen we go, turn 17, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your lap of VIR, and that alone will tell you how tricky this is going to be. There is not a lot of room on this circuit whatsoever, Zabi. They've got to pick their overtakes, and the only place it can be down that backstretch.
Absolutely, and especially if you can't get that on that back straight, maybe there's a chance, but on that front straight as well. But I think that's not long enough for a car to really unless they dive bomb into it. That probably wouldn't be that long. And as we've had our fastest time now, 1:44.8. That is your quickest time at the moment. In second place, it is 1:45.3, so a bit off first place. And I think it was a great lap from our pole sitter, at least for this moment now in qualifying.
Oh, Marshall Crocker Jr. Gee whiz, Batman. We picked up on him on the right point there as he's just gone flying in that Ferrari here. What about Bradley Lovins? Where are you, Brad? You're normally late into the session. Are you out on the racetrack at this moment in time, Mr. Lovins? We do love a good little bit of Bradley Lovins. It does come into the session rather late and joins in. Damien Horvain, the man setting the pace in practice, has not got a lap time on the board at the moment, but I can tell you that is due to an off track for Horvain and is pushing like an absolute trooper here. Is he going to be able to do it in this Porsche? Good mix of cars again all the way through. We've got the Porsche on top with Josh Herring, David Van Rooy and Bill Backer in the Fords, Alan Purser in the BMW, Jerry Cheney in the Ferrari, and then Mitchell Bowen in the BMW. Then we've got BMW, Lamborghini, Ford and Porsche behind that. We have got the new McLarens in there. Unfortunately, we don't have a logo for them as of yet. That's why if there is a blank space next to their names like Panel Hanley, he is in the new McLaren. We just don't have the logos put through as of yet. So that'd be why.
That's a spin there.
Yeah,
talking about the McLarens, and they almost spin, and that's probably the crucial reason of a lot of mistakes that surely drivers are going to make, not only in qualifying, but then in the race as well, just losing the car on the exit or someone to the entries as well. They would have to be really careful to get this through this long race for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to be aware of what's going on in and around them. Philippe Dela Cruz in the McLaren, Jeremy Cheney in the Ferrari, Bradley Tidwell in that Lamborghini leading the Pro-Ams at the moment, putting himself in 4th overall. That's great to see from Brad. David Van Rooy goes and takes the place back at the front of the field. So David Van Rooy there with his lap time of a 1:44.650. That's nearly a 10th and a half quicker than Josh Herring here, Zabi, as well. Big old time that David Van Rooy's got out in front at the moment.
Absolutely sure he's got the best, and I'm sure that will probably not be his quickest time. Maybe he could try and even improve more, but not only him, the others behind would be pushing out of the car and out on track as well.
Yeah, we did lose you for a little bit during that one, Zabi. Not entirely sure what happened, but you seem to have disconnected just a little moment there, but we got a rough idea of what it was you were saying. But Bradley Tidwell setting the pace in that Pro-Ams. Kenny Bourgeois in the Ford in that second. Oh my dearie me, if that isn't an advert for America, I don't know what is from Kenny Bourgeois there. Full on American style. America is going across the windscreen for Kenny Bourgeois in the stars and stripes. Oh dearie me, Kenny, that is a very bright and interesting livery on that one. Damien Horvain does put himself up into 5th place, not quite on the pace of what he was able to do in practice. We've still got Chase Albrave to Brian Hoskins, so about 10 drivers that have not got times on the board, and one of the big ones of that is Sean Riley has not got a time on the board at this moment in time. Sean sitting in the standings in 6th place at the moment. Well, it's all about what Sean's going to be able to do on this. Can he make his way forward in that BMW, Zabi? Not got a time at the board yet. Off track's costing him here.
Absolutely, and sometimes these mistakes really cost the drivers that time. Just 15 minutes of the qualifying session, it might seem a lot, but when you make mistakes and sometimes repeat them, that isn't a lot, and he really needs a time out on board at the moment quickly. It's not only him, but other few as well, but sure, we see everybody now making their timings, registering a timeout on track, and you really don't want to be the very last ones. Surely sometimes when the track is ramping up, you would want to be one, but either way, you could in the end make mistakes as well. But sure, those you don't want to really be doing that in the end. And now he would really be pushing out there and really make it up for the mistake or some off tracks that he had to do earlier. He's really going to now try and push and put himself up the order on the grid.
Yeah, he's going to come over the line now with Sean. What is he going to be able to get a time on the board here? Is he going to be able to move himself up at all? He is not for Sean Riley. So he's going to have to go again, is Sean, to see how he gets on. We'll stay on board with Sean, or focus on Sean for this time around, because at the moment, the man in 6th place in the championship has not got a time on the board. Used to being at the pointy end of the field. If he starts all the way down in 44th, where he is at the moment, he could be in deep trouble here. with all of these cars in and around him. Lots of AMs, lots of Pro-Ams all in the mix, and Sean's going to have to fight his way through. I know the BMW isn't the greatest car to be handling here as well. As you can see, it's only two BMWs in the top 10 with Alan Berser and Mitchell Bowen. Next one is Jonathan Williams in 16th and Mark Bolton in 17th place. George Parfitt all the way down in 28th. Come and saw me before, as you all know, is my boy. Come and saw me before and was like, Dad, I don't like this circuit. I said, George, you'll be all right. Just go out there and do your best. So that's what he's going to go and try and do and get some points on the board. But it is all about Mr. Sean Riley. Him and Bradley Lovin's out with no times on the board. So let's keep an eye on Sean. And is he able to get a time on the board here? Or is he, or could he be in the back end? He's got one more lap. After this one, he's got to push for as Sean to see how he gets on. Bradley Lovin's moved himself up into 9th place. What about Sean O'Reilly? Puts himself into 5th. He did get a time, Zabi. That was imperative for him to get a time and put himself in 5th place.
Just lost you a little bit there, but it was definitely important, very important for him to get a lap time out there. He on the previous one, surely he didn't make any mistakes, but in the end didn't got the lap validated. That was an invalidate lap. But on this one now, he puts it P5, decent enough. I think that's really important for his, not only for his championship, but for this race going forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree. Bradley Lovins, however.
And there's a spin.
Yeah, Bradley Lovins for his final lap. They only get a 3-lap quali, and unfortunately, Brad's third one has gone out the window. What about Cole Modric sitting in that McLaren? Is he going to be able to improve? He does. He goes up into 9th. Yeah, 9th, 145.472. Salty Sailor, good lineup. George will grow to love it. Well, he might do, Ben, but at the moment, he ain't loving it. Let's just put it that way. I can safely say on that one, he is not loving it. But Sean Riley here is coming up to complete his final 3rd lap on the clock. How important is it that they make it through at least 2 free laps before they start having incidents?
Absolutely, because definitely you have to get into that moment and into that rhythm of getting the qualifying laps, but then into the race as well. Absolutely, if you get many mistakes or even a moment a little bit at the start, that could ruin your whole lap and your whole momentum that it takes to put a lap time together. As Sean, we're looking at him, he's getting his final lap on board. He's still got about 52 of a second to P1 the gap. And sure, if he is able to improve that, we might see him at the top of the timing sheets. But I'm sure even that P5, he'd be glad to be there up at the moment. And sure, around, he's making pass and trying to improve and get through every corner cleanly and being out all 4 wheels on the track as well. He goes a little wide, but obviously that we'll have to see at the end of the lap if that counts or not.
Yeah, Sean Riley running a little bit wide there, coming out through turn 1, up through the snake at this moment in time. He goes, weaving in through 5B, 8, 6A, 6B. I don't know why we couldn't just have gone 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Why we had to put A and B on the corners, but coming into the oak tree, which is the right-hander, which will be, I'm sure, aptly named at some point, because there is no more oak tree. Now down the back straight again for Sean Riley. What's he going to be able to do? This is the last of his laps, the 3rd one of his laps here. Is he going to be able to improve on his time, or will he stay in 5th? Don't forget, there is a lot of cars on the racetrack, 49 of them. Yes, you heard me correctly, 49 corners. Unfortunately, I cannot read out what my son has just messaged me, but let's put it this way. He still don't like the track.
I lost you there.
Yeah, still doesn't like the track, unfortunately, for George as he's going around. But listen, 35 seconds on the clock. Sean Riley, is he going to get this lap done? It goes to the right-hand side. I don't really think it's going to be an improvement, but by how much? 45.09 stays where he is, as everybody looks like they've done their 3 laps here, Zabi, as well. Not a bad qualifying session. David Van Roy, 144.6.
Definitely getting it, put it on pole, and he definitely would have been hoping that nobody behind improves. Look at Josh Herron then just 10 milliseconds just behind him. So it's really close and a really tight field in this qualifying session. And sure, it should be some fun in the race as well. And obviously, they all would be looking to get safely through the first few corners, taking it for yourself.
Again, do worry. Sorry about the sound issues we are having at the moment, as there seems to be some connection issues going on within Discord. And let's see if we can bring you up the grid after this 5-minute warm-up. A couple of drivers are going to go out and get some warm-up done. One of them is the boy himself, who does not like the race circuit. He's going to go out and try and get some more practice off. Fizzing in YouTube chat. No off tracks on the exit of turn 2 unless you touch the grass. So that's the left hand. Well, that's turn 1. Fizzing in the horseshoe, or you're talking this one here on the left hand side on the AstroTurf. I think he's talking about that one on the AstroTurf.
So many cars now in this warm-up. A lot of them just out there on the track. Everybody almost together and using this warm-up, 5 minutes of it, and kind of treating it like a little small race to how they want to go about it and how they want to be maintaining pace each lap.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing, is being able to A, not do what the car in front of them did, but put it over the grass, and B, to make sure that they can stay on the circuit. That was Damien Horvath, who unfortunately went off onto the grass there. That's running up the old pit lane for that 71 machine. Not entirely sure if that's legal, so I'm pretty sure we won't be doing that during the race on that one. So yeah, let's not try and do that for Rick Modric in the 71 Porsche, who's just run up the old pit lane here at VIR. So interesting way of doing that, Zabi. I guess he's trying to get use all parts of the circuit.
Absolutely, and they try and get to the maximum and try and see where the grip is, where the traction you're getting out of the corners and on the entry. And absolutely, you have to stay there, as you said, on the circuit. If you even get a little bit of a wheel on the grass, you could end up spinning, and all of that could go in wane the progress that you made. And then sometimes if you make mistakes, you lose confidence and you just don't have it anymore. Surely you want to maintain that and for a longer race, and to try and keep going through this session.
Yeah, 55-minute race they have got here as well. Let's not forget that it's 55 minutes and they will need a pit stop. The question will be, will there be overcuts? Will there be undercuts? And who will be the one making the most of that situation? It's going to be very, very interesting indeed, I think, on this one. If you haven't watched these guys before, you know there's great racing. If you haven't been here very long, you will also know that there's 49 cars on the circuit. Yes, 49. So stay tuned, because, well, I'm expecting some chaotic action here, Zoe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with 49, even if there is about 30 cars, it could be on some action on a circuit like this, and especially with 49. We could have just had one more and make it 50 out there, but interesting to see. So the quickest time at the moment from Crocker Jr. with 151.0, and just Demajan goes quicker than with 149.4. That probably could be the average we see in the race. These guys are now just pretty much kind of a little race simulation run it out there, and see how they're going to be doing around the whole sector. With now Alan goes quicker, but in these times now he's kind of just pushed in about a qualifying lap there, 1:14.59, or maybe at the start. They are looking to get better and get ahead of the rest of them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just more of a little running around to make sure that your car is up and running, and make sure it's all working properly and there's no issues with it, and making sure that everything is fine. You can hit your braking markers, you can do anything that you need to make sure you can get done in this practice session. I will say now, for me in practice, I don't do a lot. I sit there with my drink and I chill and pop to the toilet and, you know, do whatever else. So do not sit there and do any lap times, because I'm not going to gain anything out of it unless I really don't like the circuit, and then I'll sit at the back anyway and make my way through. So there's a lot involved in this one, I think. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I think this is going to be a battle of whoever can keep it on the racetrack, to be honest.
Yeah, surely that is going to matter. And I think at the start, these guys are going to have in their minds that they just have to stay there and try and stay away from any carnage, any moments that happened throughout this practice session, as that is just coming to an end now before we move on to the 55-minute race, which is going to be surely chaotic. So with all those pit stops, pit strategies, mind games, and everything that these drivers and teams have to think before going into a race like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring you up the grid. Here we go. David Van Rooij in first place. Josh Herrin in second. Damien Horvaten in third. Ryan Merriam in fourth. Sean Riley in fifth. Bill Backer in sixth. Bradley Tidwell seventh. Alan Purser eighth. Colt Modric ninth. Mitchell Bowen 10th. Bradley Lovins 11th. And Jeremy Cheney down in 12th place. Then you're Dan Svorak, Marshall Crocker, then Jeff Shrewsbury, Philippe de la Cruz, Kenny Bourgeois, Jonathan Williams, Rick Modric, Mark Bolton, James Hillerick, Dean Carroll, Barry Acker and Eric Gainsell down in 24th. Quinton Price down in 25th with Bernal Hanley 26th, then Gary Spencer 27th, Jose Valentin 28th, Michael Champlin in 29th, George Parfitt down in 30th, Heath Ollinger in 31st, JT Sawyer 32nd, Anthony Hutchinson in 33rd, Craig Comfer in 34th, Joey Mines in 35th and Jeff Sepulveda in 36th place. Cameron Risley down in 37th, Brian LaPratt in 38th, Chase Allgrave 39, Curtis Matthews in 40th, Cody Bonte in 41st, Brian Hoskins, Mike Elliott, Jim Cunningham and Matthew Brennan round out the top 45. Then you've got Nick Marshall, Scott Carlson and Stuart Gibbons, and then behind that is Brian Burkhart, who is at the back of the field. Riley Racing, good luck getting through the 49 names before the race starts. No. I did. So thank you very much on that one. 49 cars though, anything's going to happen, right?
Absolutely. I mean, even just keeping up to them, announcing the grid, how it's going, it must have been tiring as well, but sure, now keeping up to these guys. David Van Rooij now on the car's lap behind the safety car just before the rolling start. We got to get onto the race. Obviously, they'll be patient. They will be ready to get off the line. As soon as they see green flags, they will be pushing to the limit straight away.
Yeah, 55 minutes. We have got a full pace lap here. So it is going to be a very slow run down up through the snake. It's working out how you can go 2 by 2, whether or not you can go too wide, whatever the situation will be. Chase Allgray has unfortunately done himself a proper on the pace lap. It's jumped back to the pit lane. So I'm not entirely sure what Mr. Allgray did. I'm going to try and have a look here. What did Chase Allgray do in that McLaren?
That maybe would have had a moment or a spin, or maybe, and there you go. That explains it. He doesn't go that wide though, but I think he just slowed down there for others to get past him.
Yeah, I think he's just jumped back into the pit lane, and that was about it from Chase Allgrave. And it looks like we're going to have problems with the replays on here, unfortunately. So we'll try and keep them to a minimum if we can. If it looks like there's a problem within the situation of getting back to live. So we'll keep replays to a minimum. But David Van Rooij, Josh Herrin, Damien Horvaten, Ryan Merriam, Sean Riley and Bill Backer lead the way to... It's going to be, you can see the top 30s on your screen on the left-hand side. I don't have enough room to give you the full 49 cars, unfortunately. So, yeah, if there's anybody you want to follow, well, let me know. And you can take the live timing link that I'll put in YouTube chat now. Click on it and you'll be able to have a look and follow along with your favourite driver. But there's just too many to list on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Going into the roller coaster now. Pace car's going to peel in. David Van Rooij is going to lead the way. He's going to be your leader in that Ford Mustang. Josh Herrid sitting in second. Horvaten in the Porsche in third. Then we've got Ryan Merriam in the Audi. This is the front end of the field. You can see on the left-hand side there, right up until 7, with Alan Purser, Bradley Tidwell in 8th in the Pro-Ams. Pace car's going to be peeling in very, very shortly. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to be green very, very shortly. Pace car's going to peel in now. There's David Van Roy's alongside Josh Herring. From the other side we go. Pace car's into the pits. Van Roy's keeping him for as long as possible. He's not releasing them through yet. It's David Van Roy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he has gone and we are green. You can see there, unfortunately, for Josh Herring, completely missed the start. See, completely missed the start.
And there you go, Bradley.
David Van Roy has gone up the inside. He's got through on this one. Damien Horvath taking the inside corner over David Van Roy. Now he's going to have the inside for turn number 3. NASCAR Bender, Van Roy in that Mustang. Then we've got Damien Horvath in the Porsche, Josh Merrin in the Porsche, Sean Riley in the Porsche, and it looks like at this moment in time there's been a few incidents further back, but the majority of the field is having got through cleanly.
Absolutely sure the first top 10 or the top 20 cars going smoothly out there, not seeing any moment in the back, but obviously at the back of the field there could be some of the moments. And now David Van Roy keeping it his lead into 1 and keeping it smooth so far in the Mustang, with the Porsches of Damien Horvath and Josh following behind. It's then Sean Riley currently in 4th place, and Bradley Tidwell not even in his class, and he's in P7. That's very much qualified, but a decent enough job from him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Van Roy there as well. There's been a lot of action in and around the back end, guys, and there's people in the pits. Jim Cunningham, Scott Carlson's been involved, JT Sawyer involved in a little incident, Brian Hoskins, Pernell Hanaley's been off the circuit, Matthew Brennan, Anthony Hutchinson, Quinton Price and Barry Acker have all had their own moments towards the back end of this grid. But here, David Van Roy making his way in the lead. Damien Horvath sitting in 2nd, Josh Herring in 3rd, Sean Riley in 4th, and Ryan Merriam in 5th with Alan Purser there as well. Let's bring you up the group standings. Pro-Ams, Tidwell. Ams is Hillary. Pros is David Van Roy. Now we are going side by side there as well. Ryan Merriam losing a place to Sean Riley. The Audi Zabi is not looking comfortable at the moment. Ryan Merriam's been pushed out, and unfortunately he's down 1 place down into 5th.
Not at all, surely, just having those moments and losing positions at the start, and now he's a position down where he started. Then Ryan currently in that Audi, just ahead of Alan and behind Sean Riley, and he would be looking to gain some positions out there, but so far taking it smooth out there. Not really smooth though, losing positions as all of them go, but I think at least still safe from a big incident or anything that would end his race all over. He should be good enough now for him to be able to recover all that has happened for it.
Yeah, we're built back at Cole Modric, Bradley Tidwell in the middle, 52 minutes on the clock. Tidwell holding his own in the Pro-Ams. He's in that Lamborghini. He's got Modric tucked in behind him, and built back up Bradley Evans and Marshall Crocker Jr. from the 785 racing team. Down into the left-hander of the roller coaster. This is going to be the main overtaking positions. This is where you've got to make sure you can get the job done here if you're going to be able to get through on this one. Through the left-hander we go. Nothing doing. What about Kenny Bradshaw in that Ford American livery machine? Through here as well. Sticks out like an absolute sore thumb. Does Bradley Tidwell in full support from Kenny Bradshaw, in the full support on that Mustang. But a great job from everybody at the moment. Further back in the arms, James Hillary is in his own little fight. Currently, he's got the Pro-Ams of Eric Gainzel and Barry Acker, and George Parfitt is up 6 places in 24th, just taking it easy and making his way through the best he can. He's got Quinton Price right in behind him. George there is going to come over. Is he almost going to cover him off? He's not. Quinton Price not being able to get through this time around in that McLaren 720. Tucked in right behind now. He's surely not going to be looking at making a move into the left-hander here of NASCAR Bend. Again, through we go. It's not being able to get close enough. The mess is proving a little bit of a problem. there for Quinton Price in that McLaren. Tidwell's just lost a place to Bill Backer, and Bill making his way forward now for Bradley Tidwell. He can't afford to lose too many places to Zabi, because if he tucks into the Pro-Am battle that he doesn't need to be involved with, as there's 4 cars between him and second place man Kenny Bourgeois.
Absolutely, I mean, that's not his battle, Bradley Tidwell. He's fighting with the different class guys, even if he's leading his class championship so far in this race. Leading that class will be good for him, but sure, he's trying to give up some fight out there. Also, all these guys trying to get ahead of each other, but then there's we see Sean really making the move on Josh Herron, that they're in the BMW out there, around the outside of the Porsche out there. Still going for it, can't quite make the move, stick there. Surely these guys, you know, they're trying to make the moves, but then they've got the cars behind them as well to try and defend from those. So it's almost, for some of these guys, they're far away from the others, but with those that are together in a field, could be in a bit of a pressure out there to try and get ahead, but then defend behind as well. And there could be a one more chance for Sean Riley in the Mercedes out there in in the BMW in 4th place at the moment. He could try and go have a go at Josh Herron, but for how long is he going to wait? Though surely he's not in any of the overtaking zones at the moment, but sure, as they get to the straight, he could try and have a go at him, though he would be waiting for that perfect moment that it comes. He runs a little wide there, but he should be okay. Doesn't quite go off. That would ruin his progress. He's so far taking it smoothly, but he would be waiting to gain that position back, the 3rd place that he lost on the previous one.
Yeah, I think from his situation there for Sean Riley, he's got to sit back and think, what have I got to do here? How is he going to be coping with this one? Sorry, but I'm not entirely sure what the situation is and why all of a sudden we've got some mad blinking action, but let's hope it settles down for the rest of this race as well. Sean Riley still tucked in behind Josh Herron. Is he going to be able to make it through this time around, though? That's going to be the question for Mr. Riley. He's going to be running as best as he possibly can, trying to go side by side. Not this time, it looks like for him. He's a little bit far back for Sean Riley, and he's going to have to try again on the next lap. It's going to be imperative for everybody to try and make their way through on this, and it's not going to be the most easiest position to try and do that, because they've got to keep it on the racetrack. That's the imperative situation here. Keep the car on the racetrack for Sean Riley. He's trying hard, just not being able to get it through. David Benroy opens it up at the moment at the front end of the field. The second now out in front on Damien Horvath in 2nd place, as these guys continue to fight it out here as well. Lap 5 with 47 minutes to go. Ryan Merriam still is just lost that place to Sean Riley, and now Ryan is in 5th there. Riley is having to go at Herron, with Purser having to go, and Bradley Lovins has got Bill Backer tucked up right behind him.
Absolutely, not only Bill Backer, but the whole field out there right behind them onto 9th place, and all of those behind definitely putting the pressure on each other, keeping it smooth. We're seeing different, not only classes, but different fields of even that same class. We're seeing some cars clamped in together, some is far away from the others. As Bill Backer now in 9th place is going to try and make a move. Surely going to wait for the perfect opportunity out there. Still hanging around there, hanging his car there, not try and lose much time going behind the Porsche head in his Ford Mustang. He's going to make all those, but everything on this track he can. Again, on the straight we are going. He's going to try and make a move, but not only him, others behind could try and have a look at as well. As we see, Bradley will currently quickest in his class to 12 overall, but he's far away from those guys ahead of him. And now is the Mustang going to go for that move? He can't quite make it though.
Yeah, not this time around, unfortunately, on that one. Damien Horvath has got Herron and Riley closing in on him. Merriam's got Purser, Modric, Lovins has got Backer, Marshall Crocker, and Philippe Delacruz in the background. Bradley Tidwell leading the Pro-Ams. Kenny Bourgeois in 2nd place. Mitchell Bowen in 12th overall in the Pros there. Jonathan Williams, the 3rd place man at BMW in that number 15 in the Pro-Ams. James Hillerick leading the way. There is a couple of people, unfortunately, look like they have had a little bit of a moment. Dean Murray, Carroll, Mark Bolton, George Parfitt, Nick Marshall, JT Sawyer, Josh Herring was bouncing off the offside of the track. Looks like he got back on okay. Marshall Crocker Jr. went off. Jim Cunningham. So there's a lot of people struggling here at this race circuit, Zabi. But then we did say that with 49 cars on the track.
Absolutely, we sure did, and not only even the cars behind, maybe not the back markers, but at the back of the field, but even at the front of the field. If you look at Josh Aaron having a little bit of movement out there as well, I think definitely it is really important for them to keep it up there. And I think they're, with all the cars tucked up, the pressure from everyone behind, the building up lap after lap. We're having a look at Sean Riley, still not able to get ahead of Josh Herring now. He has a chance out there maybe, but he's going to try and go. I think, are they lapping a car out there?
Marker, yeah.
Yeah, that's a back marker there. They go past through it smoothly there now. Sean Riley has made a position up from where he started, but sure he'd like to get into third place and try and get some really behind the Porsche there, trying to get late on the brakes but not bump into the car ahead. Just ahead of them is Damagen there as well, not far away, so that could be a close battle out there.
Yeah, it could be Sean Riley, Josh Herring, Damien Harvey and Ryan Merriam looking to close in on the battle pack of the cars in front. We've still got Lovins escaped from Backer with Crocker, Dela Cruz, Tidwell, Bourgeois in Dela Cruz and Bradley Tidwell going side by side. Dela Cruz was looking up the inside, didn't get the job done. Bradley Tidwell did manage to get the overtake done on that one. Gary Spencer, Jeremy Cheney, Josie Valentin, Michael Chaplin all on the race circuit still as well. We've still got, I believe, currently 43 runners, I believe, are still running here as well. So great job for an M43. We said about keeping it on the racetrack. That's exactly what they had to try and do. As Josh Herring and Sean Riley about as he could possibly be here, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, all those cars that, I mean, they've done a decent enough job. Everybody out there are 49, 43 still remaining out there. And now Sean Riley's really close to try and make a move on Josh Aaron. He could have a chance as soon as they get too straight to an overtaking zone that Sean would be wanting. No, he goes a little bit wide than the car ahead. Is it going to be a bit of a moment for him to try and overtake? It is really close between the two, but I don't think he's going to go for a dive bomb or something that pretty much gives damage to both of them. He's taking it smoothly and not close enough there. As we're having a replay at a moment at a replay there here at the McLaren, we're looking at, could there be some incident out there? And there stops the car on the middle of the track. The McLaren goes into the back of him, and now that would have been the reason some cars going back of the field. That was not sure what happened there. He just stopped in the middle of the track.
Yeah, apparently it does seem to be like that. Might have been something else gone on as well. Slips and slides into the wall, unfortunately, on that one. So it looks like Pano Hanley has had his own little issues there. And unfortunately, it's caused a little bit of drama on that one. George is not running at this moment in time. He's out with Scott Carlson, Mark Bolton, Dean Murray, Carroll, Gibbons and Burkhart. So as he goes and puts that BMW unfortunately into the wall. Herring, Riley, Lovins all there. So a nice little battle with all of these guys in the middle of the field. But 41 minutes to go on this one, Zabi, and it's looking like a few people have a little bit of a drama.
Absolutely, I think already causing some drama, trying to go for overtakes, for positions to take, and I think at the moment Sean Riley's not going for it. Maybe as we get towards the ending parts of the race, he might try and move, he might try and put pressure on Josh there. Maybe he's just taking it smooth there, try and keep his position, maintain the position, but as we get towards the end, maybe try and torture him, try and maintain his tires for time being. But when it comes the time to overtake, he might try and have a go at him.
Yeah, Damien O'Brien, and that is a back marker in front. That's why he's flashing frantically. That's Dan Svorak in that McLaren. He's trying to get it out the way. Everybody does make it through, but that was not an ideal way of doing that on that one from Dan Svorak. Went on to the grass, unfortunately. Alan Purser's going to slot in behind him in the BMW now. And you can see Ryan Merriam in that Audi having a go there. Stacey Merriam in there as well. Good afternoon or good morning to you, young lady. Thanks so much for joining us. Jeff Shrewsbury, Rick Modric, Eric Gainsell, James Hilliard leading the AMs down here in 19th place. Up 2 places for James, doing what he needs to do in the AMs, I think, here as well. Zabi just keeping the car on track, and he's leading the class.
Yeah, surely so far he's going it smooth and taking it nicely enough for time being in this race. I think that's what he just needs to do for the moment. Take it smooth and get it through the track. Not make many mistakes. 2 positions up. And oi, that's a moment. That is incident out there. And that's a whole bumper of a car we see. Surely incidents with the back markers. We saw one almost happening before, and has happened one here.
Yeah, that was Eric Gainsell. Eric Gainsell, unfortunately, spinning across the side of the circuit. That car is broke, absolutely broke. He can't even keep it on the race circuit. He's got to try and get it back to the pits if he can, because the car is just looking, well, his left hand down on the straight. So that basically tells you all that you need to know about Eric Gainsell's Ferrari. It's left hand down on a straight, so it is definitely broken. Devin Van Roy out 5 seconds out in front. Josh Herring, Sean Riley, Horvath and Merriam all in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. These pros are not letting up here, Zabi. They're going at each other hammer and tongs, and I think it's going to be like this for the next 39 minutes.
Absolutely, and now as Sean has got in, he hasn't got in ahead of Josh, but I think Damian maybe pitted or something as in 4th place, or a mistake for him. We see him in P4, and also the incident we saw earlier for the Ferrari getting some damage. Now around the outside, is he going to be able to make the move though? We're not currently focused on that, but surely we're having a look at a little fight, and I think there is this incident, big incident, and that sends Sean Riley into the walls, and another car, another Porsche with him as well. That was some interesting. He tried to make the move around the outside, and the BMW just a little bit of a clip on the rear of that car and sends him almost in the wall. Not sure if his car is okay though, but that pretty much would be a lot of progress to go do in this race if he even wants to continue the time being there.
Yeah, Sean Riley and David Horvath, unfortunately Riley's in as close as he could be. Horvath, oh, you turned into him, buddy. He's on your inside. Riley's lost the back end of his car there. And unfortunately for Sean Riley and Damien Horvath, they are down the order now. Oh, looks like Riley's going again. That car is definitely damaged. It's got to be damaged. He's taking it straight back to the pit lane as Sean Riley. And unfortunately for him, it looks like another day of done. It looks like it's game over for Mr. Riley. And he's going to have to, well, take this probably as a drop round as Mitchell Bowen, Kenny Bourgeois, Bradley Tidwell continue to fight on for 37 minutes there. The stewards are definitely going to have a look at that one, Zabi, but it looks like Horvath on the outside just turned into Riley there.
Absolutely, and I think surely he was around the outside trying to make the move, and maybe he would have had a little bit of a blind spot there, not looking at the car in front of you, or you have your front wheel on the car head at the back of it. I think that pretty much would be day over. That's what we were talking about, keeping the car out on track, and not only the back of the field, but even the pros at the top of the field could be making such mistakes as well. And I think surely both of them have to be in trouble out there at the end of the race. For the stewards, they definitely have to get a penalty to one of the cars out there.
Yeah, I think it'll be, obviously, we're up here in the booth and we only see it from one angle. I think the stewards will look at it from multiple different angles and come and decide whether or not there's no further action with the drivers involved, Riley and Horvath, or was there fault on one part or another? Did Riley miss the apex? Did he drive? Did Horvath turn in? It's all of these questions that we try and avoid up here and give our opinions. And yes, I've been in the stewards booth for my opinions, but we try and keep out of it as much as we possibly can currently. So we'll see how that one goes. Damien Horvath on the grass once more on the left-hand side down here. I want to try and pick up on, where are you? That is the Mitchell Bowen Bourgeois Tidwell battle. This is for the lead in the Pro-Ams. Tidwell's about 1.9 down the road. Mitchell Bowen's tucked in right behind him, and then behind that everybody else is a little bit more spread out. down to 41 cars running. We've lost 8 so far. We did say we'd be surprised if we got all of them, Zabi.
Yeah, absolutely, and surely that again proves that point right there. And I think at the moment, Damian currently running in 7th place, kind of lucky in this incident there, as shown it to retire pretty much the race over for him. Even if he tries to get back up to on track, I don't think there'll be many positions that he'll be able to gain easily. And I think surely even running there in the field, second last, but not second last actually, there is cars behind, but currently in 7th place, smoothly going, as I think Cole Modric makes the position up on Ellen out there.
Yeah, Dan Svorak is the last runner. No, Jim Cunningham is still running in that McLaren. Then you've got Riley, Carlson, Parfitt, Bolton, Carroll, Gibbons and Burkhardt all out of this race. So we're down to 42 runners with Jim Cunningham, and there is Quinton Price Torina having a nice little tucked-in battle there as well. Dominic ATX, surprised you didn't immediately blame Riley like usual. Whoa! Hold on a minute. Yo. Give over. I don't blame Sean Riley like nothing. Thank you very much there, Mr. ATX Dominic, on that one. I'm keeping my nose out of it. I've been in the stewards room too often already, so I'm staying well out of it this time. As Quinton Price is battling James Hillerick in single Pro-Am. Hillerick leading. So it's going to be about the pit stops, I think, now, Zabi, as well. They're going to be settling in pit stops in about 10 minutes, possibly 15 at the most here. Who's going to be thinking about doing what? Because currently we've got Marion, Modric, Purser and Lovins all in their own little fight.
Absolutely, I mean, surely they will be thinking and running their minds that what they need to do they need to do, and can they do the undercut, or can they try and overcut the cars, which obviously is you pit after the car that has pitted before you, but you try and gain enough time on the track. But will these tyres have that enough grip to overcut the cars behind? And now as you look at Ken going in that Mustang, if I'm not mistaken, in that full American livery there, just ahead of Mitchell in the BMW. You might try and have a look at him, but I don't think so. He's far away on this main straight. Back straight is the main overtaking one, but this one not really quite close enough. But this could be close enough there, but he just doesn't find the way to get through. That was pretty close between the two though, and I think there could be times, there could be a time now really soon we see him get ahead, but I think, well, unless he makes a mistake, it won't be easy for and if they go 2 into 1 in a corner, that shouldn't be, as you saw an incident earlier with Sean Riley and Damon there as well.
Yeah, and the Solvating on that one. Might have a look. Oh, that's somebody off the side. That's Michael Chaplin trying to get out of the way. Michael Chaplin there trying to remove himself from an equation. Unfortunately, put himself on the grass. Horvaten in behind Lovins. That's not going to be an easy fight for Damien Horvaten to come out victorious with. Bradley Lovins is a very stern, elbows deep competitor here for Damien Horvaten to have a go at. Lovins is not going to roll over and let you tickle his belly. He's going to fight for every position he can get. He needs them for his championship. So we'll see what goes on here with Damien Horvaten, whether or not he's going to be able to make it through. Going to be tough for him with Bradley Lovins, Zabi. In fact, he decides to nip into the pit lane. They should make it. It's just over the half hour.
And there you go. Now we have our first stoppers in the Pro Class out there at the top. And now we've seen that Porsche coming into the pits, just a tire change and maybe a bit of a damaged repair as well, if he does have some from that incident. As we see around the outside now, that overtake would have been coming a little too long ago, but then that didn't quite happen for Kenny out there, I think. Or did it happen, as we see in the outside room though, because and then almost going into the back of that car ahead there. That was really close for that Mustang as well. And now, so that BMW did not get ahead of Kenny out there. Mitchell still staying behind, and sometimes, as we said, those back markers getting out of the way, but almost running into the cars ahead. As now, that is really interesting. Still not ahead, and even now Mitchell a bit of pressure for a Marshall behind. Jr. there in that Ferrari, going to try and attack that BMW out there as well. I think so far Kenny has been taking it smooth though, just behind Bradley Tidwell. He's in a different class as well, but just ahead of these guys.
Yeah, you've got Kenny Bourgeois in the Pro-Ams, Mitchell Bowen in the Pros, Marshall Crocker Jr. in the Pros, Bradley Tidwell, Pro-Ams. That is a back marker in front of them currently at this moment in time. That is Nick Marshall in front of these guys. He kind of doesn't make it easy there, Nick. Not entirely sure why, you know. And somebody else is off the side of the field as well. I believe that was also Marshall Crocker Jr. It is running wide. There's going to be a few little bits and hips and toughs about back markers. There was somebody else off the side of the circuit. That was Mitchell Bowen. Mitchell Bowen has lost it. Where did he lose it and how did he lose it is more to the point. Coming through now into the hog pen. He's bounced the curb once. The BMW slides. Mitchell, unfortunately, goes round and into the wall. He has got the pit lane just near him. He might be able to get that car into the pits and he'll be able to keep it going there as well. So sorry about this, but unfortunately he's doing that wonderful replay thing for whatever reason once again. But Lovins, he's in there with Purser, Dela Cruz, Tidwell, scrapping it out. Tidwell leading the Pro-Ams. He's got Bourgeois literally a second behind him, and Bourgeois at this moment in time has got a back marker of Chase Allgray in front of that, so Bourgeois can really do with him and the back marker in front of Sepulveda to get themselves out of the way, or try and at least let them through. As you see, Allgray does let them through. Now is Sepulveda's turn. It's for Bourgeois to use to drive as much as he can in Zabi, but he needs to clear these back markers quicker.
Absolutely, and I think Bourgeois doing a decent enough job at it. Sure, the BMW Mitchell Bowen behind him was attacking him again and again, but he gets past another back marker there. Surely he needs to get through those guys as quickly as he can and get to the cars ahead that he's supposed to be racing, and I'm sure he would be doing it that smoothly. He's got some nice defending out there, keeping his place, but now has to attack to the cars ahead to try and get in ahead towards Bradley Tidwell to get to up the field as quickly as he can. Getting through these back markers could be a headache sometimes as he heads into the pits now.
Kenny Bourgeois clears the back markers, goes straight into the pits. Tidwell carries on in the Pro-Ams. Williams takes the place away from Bourgeois at the moment. So you see on the left-hand side of your screen the Pro-Ams: Tidwell, Williams, Bourgeois, Shrewsbury, Acker, Price, Hanley and Hutchinson. In the AMS currently, Gary Spencer is leading the way over Jose Valentin there, and a great job from them. Where did James Hillerick go? And he's gone into the pits. Did James Hillerick went into the pits and is now down in 35th place. But Heron has got Marion, who's got Modric, who's got Purser and Lovins all closing down at the front of the field here. But pit stop cycles look like they're well underway now as well, Zabi. So it's not going to be long before the leaders are coming in.
Absolutely sure they'd want to be coming in as quick as soon as they can now, as their tires now we're a little less than halfway mark, and those tires would be coming off, getting grip less and less every single lap, and now having to fight each other off. Obviously they may be trying to play some tricks with each other out there with Josh Herron and David Winroy around the outside. I think that was the back marker out there. I thought that was a bit of a move, but that wasn't out there, and now smoothly they're taking it, but they would want to get to these pit stops. And as well, obviously sometimes it's a pressure as well. You get wrong in the pits, you make a mistake, or even sometimes braking on the pit entry limit, and no one at the moment, at least from the top guys, comes into the pits. They take it smoothly and safer so far. Still one more lap on those tires that they've been on since the beginning of the race.
Yeah, tyre wear in iRacing, you can generally last for about 45 to 50 minutes. So we'll see how they get on here, whether or not they're going to actually change tyres. I expect some of them might not change tyres, and I expect some of them will. Riley Racing, yeah, that was a rough, expected better. Yeah, I did kind of say that. ATX, who's in YouTube chat as well, I did not blame Sean straight away. I did say it looked like Damien had turned in on Sean on that one, but we'll allow the stewards to have a look back at that one. I'm going to keep my nose completely out of this business, but there is back markers aplenty in this list here. There is a lot of action going on. We've got back markers, we've got front runners, we've got it all mixing up in a racetrack that maybe some would say is long, but it seems to me that all of these cars are quite bunched up.
Bunched about there, and they definitely obviously want to stay as close as they can, even if it's the back markers. They're trying to get out of the way of the leading cars, but still staying together. And I think sometimes when you say there are incidents on track, the back marker could send you off, or even if a car ahead of you makes a mistake, you sometimes lose that focus and make those mistakes out there, as we saw some of those drivers going wide. But so far we haven't had an incident yet in a few laps now, and smoothly going as cars pit, cars get on new tyres, and as you said, the tyre wear lasts between 40 to 55 minutes or 50 minutes, but I think maybe that would be there we go. We see some top guys coming in the pits out there.
Yeah, you're not going to need, I don't think any of them are going to need tyres. I'll be very surprised if any single one of these take tyres here. We can have a look at Bradley Lovell's machine. We'll have to look at it from behind, unfortunately, because I can't quite get the front shot. I think he's going to go, is he going to go up on the jacks? I would be very surprised if he does. He's going to be heading out the pits in about 6 seconds time. Bob Bradley Lovins, if he is not taking tyres, which it doesn't look like he has, and away he goes for Bradley Lovins. Is he going to be able to jump Cole Modric in that McLaren? It doesn't look like it is. Modric is going to come out, get the race on pit lane done. So no tyres there, which is what he's expected. I would be very, very shocked if anybody was taking tyres.
Absolutely, obviously you don't want to change tyres and get onto the new tyre or waste any time in the pit lane. Try and get out on the track as quickly as you can out there, and keep your tyres and the one that you've been doing the whole race on, and keep those on. As you see, the McLaren of Cole Modric leading Damian ahead in 6th place, but as we're looking at Bradley Lovins in that Porsche at the moment, car number 29, as you move on to Damian now in that orange Porsche that he's surely been involved a bit of an incident, but I think that's he might be well over that now and focused on his race to focus ahead and finish this up, then only to see about what to do about those incidents. But now they're going to try and focus it ahead now in currently 7th place. Going to try and go ahead of the McLaren. Surely he's going to be able to do that or not. We'll have to see, as the McLaren of Modric went a little wide there, and definitely that is why it is really vital to keep your car just out on track, and that mistake is going to cost Modric out there 7th place on track, and on to 6th is going to go Damian. That is going to be a nice move, and now Bradley Lovins is going to be trying and attacking him out there as well. As we see, it's 10th place. So because I don't understand that. How did that change? But anyways, we're having a look at this now as the Porsche behind of Modric out there. Bradley Lovins now keeping it just smooth behind Modric out there in that McLaren. He made a mistake and really loses that position to getting it up there, and now as some drivers into the pits, switches the positions of the drivers out there, and now the McLaren's going to try and come back. That was really close. He's surely not going to leave him behind, and I think now if they go wheel to wheel this time, Damian has to be a little bit careful he doesn't involve in any incident once again, because once could be fine, but a few more times could be big trouble out there.
Yeah, they could be there for Damien Horvath and Cole Modric and Bradley Lovin scrapping it out there. Down and out racing, background noise is drowning you all out. Let me know if that is okay. I've turned the cars down a little bit. I did get told earlier on that they were too quiet, but we have turned it up a little bit for you on that one. So let us know if that is okay. Horvath and Purser still in front. Modric, Lovins sitting in 6th and 7th in class. And the overall tower is on the left-hand side, and that is the group tower of where they're sitting in class. The overall, and it puts them down in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th of the overalls. So nice little battles going on. Marshall Crocker Jr. in the mix with Jonathan Williams as they're fighting over the same payout of the tarmac. Crocker Jr. going up the inside. Is he going to be able to make it through? He looks like he is, as the car sat around the wrong way. That could be Cameron Riley. Now you can see on your screen, the left-hand side, red and black machine is Marshall Crocker Jr. The BMW of Williams in the orange and white, tucked in right behind you. Down into the roller coaster, the left-hander we go now through. Is this going to be as it will, or is Williams going to get him down into turn one? Looks like Bill Back has jumped into the pit lane. 20 minutes to go now, Zabi. Pit lane time's coming thick and fast, and hopefully these guys will make it to the end of this race, but the back markers are causing an issue.
Absolutely sure they're going to try and take this car, these tyres to the end of the race and not lose any time. Spitting is around the outside as Williams going to try and get ahead of the Ferrari out there of Marshall Crocker. But is he going to be able to make the move stick? He surely won't be, but he just stays behind there. This was, if not wrong, this was pretty much the corner that had, I saw the incident between Sean Riley and Damian. But now these guys take it smooth out there between Marshall Crocker Jr. and the BMW behind of Jonathan Williams. So far, he's taking it smooth. He doesn't want to show really aggressively put his car in there. So far, wants to hang it behind him, but to really wait for that perfect movement, maybe wait for Marshall to make a mistake, or is he going to make the move? He's really close. But I think far away to make a move, at least on this part of the track. Maybe as they get onto the back straight, there is going to be a big chance for him. Just so far they have to track through these corners smoothly, not make any mistakes, and get onto the straight now. Try and get to ahead of the car ahead, but this is going to be close. Is he going to go for that move? So far he's just staying behind. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make that move or jump on in on Marshall Crocker there. But so far it is smooth for him, and he does well to defend at least on the main overtaking zone out there.
He does currently at this moment in time. Marshall Crocker Jr. Williams not able to get through. He's now going to lose a little bit of time. Most everybody is taking their pit stops. Cole Modric sitting in fifth with Damien Horvaten in front. Lovins in behind him. Lovins wishing he could clear Modric here to get onto the back end of Horvaten. We've got a battle down with Cody Bronte in the AMS. This is 5th and 6th in class. Joey Means in. James Hillerick, who was leading the class and is now down in 6th in class. Now James Hillerick, interesting, had a 1:28 pit stop, and I'm guessing that was due to the fact that he had a speeding in the pit lane penalty, which added a 40-second stop and go. But Modric, Lovins fighting all over the same part of the real estate now. Coming in to the oak tree, the right-hander we go. Modric, Lovins, who's going to come out on top? Surely this has got to be Lovins' opportunity, and he's got to get this done going down into the roller coaster.
Absolutely, he's going to try and get ahead of him before they get onto the corner. Obviously, you get the corner overtake done before. It's quite easier going into the corner, but I don't think he's close enough to try and make a jump on him yet. So far, he's keeping it just behind Modric. There is Lovings, but I think shortly he's going to wait for his opportunity. Maybe not much time remaining now in the race, so any overtaking that has to be done, they're going to have it and try and doing it just in a few laps time. Now on the main straight, now we see back markers getting out of the way. Now is Lovings going to go for a move on Modric there? Modric just get past that back marker, and a little behind is Lovings ahead of them, and I think I see the Porsche of Damian there as well now. Going to be amazing, and we are definitely going to be waiting for some overtakes to happen as you get towards the ending of the race. Now it's still got a few minutes to go though, but still should be aggressive now, and I think the ending part of the race would be crucial as well. Sometimes you try and make a dive bomb or try and make a move that shouldn't be done, and that could ruin all of your progress for the whole race. But so far they've taken it smooth and could be waiting for an opportunity. But I think good defending from Modric there as well. He hasn't allowed Lovings to make a move or jump on him or just lose his positions. I think a bit of a mistake did make a W out there of the Porsche of Lovings out there is really close now. There could be a big chance for a move. They're almost glued into the rear bumper and the front bumper out there. He's going to go on the inside of Modric out there, but is he going to make the move stick? He can't quite do it though. He moves to the inside line, but was not enough for him to make the jump. And I think again a good enough job from Modric to keep his position, and he's really hanging on to 5th place nicely so far. Absolutely sure. I mean, not many minutes now, so they don't really want to be making any mistake or anything to ruin their progress of the race so far. And definitely everybody leading their classes, they definitely want to be keeping their leads out there. And then now I think Modric is going to do everything at least to not lose the position. He's surely going to try and have a look at Horvian. But if he's not able to do that, he definitely would not want to at least lose the position. As he saw a few laps earlier, Bradley Lovins was going for the move, but Modric did a good enough job to try and defend his 5th place position. I think it's going to be vital for him to just not take any pressure. And if there comes a mistake from either him, and that sort of looks like to be the Porsche getting a little bit closer there as the McLaren went wide, as we're just talking about mistakes. And I think that would be vital towards the end. A slight little mistake, you go in wide, you do a little bit of a lock up, and that is going to be position over for you, because obviously now not many minutes remaining in the race. If you make a big mistake here, it's probably going to be race over for you. Not much time to recover through the race though, but sure, so far he's doing a decent enough job, and I think he will be having his sight, and he goes wide. He does go wide on the grass, and that could bring Bradley Lovins closer to him, to the McLaren now. On that now, the back straight that he's gonna have to try and have a go at him, and at this one now, but he's still not close enough though. I think he went a little wide, but he didn't seem to back out of it. He seemed to still be on the throttle and keep it smooth there, coming back out on track. And now is still far away from the McLaren is Bradley Lovins, and again no move for him even on this lap as well. Absolutely, and sure, he was earlier, as you saw, leading even a few of the pro cars there, but now he's currently second in his Pro AM class, and he tried to make the move into one. It wasn't quite successful, and he's still going to try and put the pressure on Bourgeois there in that American livery car, but I think he's going to try and give it everything to defend, especially these ending moments. You don't want to be losing a position by a silly mistake there. I think Bradley Tidwell is going to be knowing that as well, that surely he wants to get ahead into first place in the class, but also not try and make a mistake that would make him lose any positions to Jonathan Williams there, who's not really close to these guys, but still a mistake could do a lot of damage there, and I think still not far away from Bourgeois he is Tidwell. He could well try and go for the move as they get on the back straight once again. He's going to try and get a corner, but I think he's not close enough to try and jump the move on him though. But so far he's taking it smooth, trying to get that slipstream, but I think on the exit Bourgeois just got a bit better of him and got a little bit of time on him now. The gap it was a lot closer before, still closer enough, but not close enough to make a move for Tidwell there.
Yeah, we did say apologies again, Tarina. We did say that there was a sound issues going on as we are losing at some points, losing connection to the Discord on that one. So we can't really rectify it, can't really do anything about it, unfortunately, at this moment in time. We're just going to kind of have to keep apologizing for the problems with the sound situation we've got at this moment in time. We'll try and find an alternative situation and see what we can do about the sound issue. But at the moment it's coming into 9 minutes remaining, and it's laid on in the race. Lap 26, 1 minute 45 lap times. Oh, just lost Bradley Tidwell there. We'll stay off that one for a minute, as Bradley Lovin still has not cleared Cole Modric. Modric is defending like an absolute trooper over Lovins. Lovins has got no way through here currently either, and is he's kind of stuck there, I could safely say as well. Zabi on that one for Lovins. He just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed in that Porsche, which is no surprise whatsoever, because the Porsche just hasn't quite got the gruff of the McLaren up in front of him.
Absolutely, and I think also not only Bradley Lovins on Modric, but as you saw in the Pro AM class, Bourgeois was able to defend in his Mustang as well. Surely overtaking doesn't really seems to be that easy. Like a little bit of an even if you try and get a better exit out of the than the car ahead, that just doesn't seem to be having the straight line speeds the cars behind to go for that move. The McLaren just seems to be strong enough to give that little bit of a speed in the straight line to Modric and keep his position, but also the fact that that is closed now, but he's not able to go attack Horvian as well, so that Porsche ahead of him seems to be having a little bit of a better pace than him, but surely he's doing a great job defending. That explains that if Lovins is able to get ahead of Modric, he could well pull away with that car, but I think so far he's doing a very fantastic job keeping up in that 5th place, and I think both of them trying their all best to keep the positions to try and overtake. Porsche is now a bit closer, but is he going to go for that move? Just still not close enough for that overtake, and I think they are doing the decent enough job, but just again, obviously they can't go wheel to wheel out there. Maybe onto the straight there could be a chance for Lovins out there. Still going to take it smooth and now coming up the back straight they go. There could well be a chance. He's been doing that every lap after lap since they came out of the pits. He's been trying to get ahead, but again, look at that gap. That just keeps increasing. In the corners it's a little less, but as it comes to straight line, it seems to be a bit of losings for the Bradley Lovins, and I think he's still not close enough to make that move as we just getting our way on to the finals, onto the main straight there. But just a few corners before that, these are still now giving up. But I think just not close enough. He's maybe he's just keeping it there now, knowing that it's just not enough in that straight line or in that car, that speed that he needs to make the overtake. Or we could see some aggressiveness from him towards the ending of the race as well, as we just have now only a few minutes before we get to the end of the race now.
Yeah, absolutely. You see these guys battling away towards this back end of this racetrack. Loving still isn't going to be able to get through on that one. Tarina was thinking the same. Perfect radio voice. Well, clearly, you're saying I got the face for radio, Tarina. Is that what it is on that one? Here, thank you very much for that one. But Bradley Lovins with Cole Modric still not able to make it through. Kenny Bourgeois still defending hard from Bradley Tidwell. 5 minutes to go, and David Van Rooy is going to be coming over the line. 5.5 minutes. It's going to give us about another 3 laps. So these guys are going to be able to try and move through and see if they can get at least 3 laps on that one. But David Van Rooy comes over the line, 5:18 on the clock. It will be probably about another 3 laps here, Zabi. So the people like Bradley Lovins and the people like Philippe Dela Cruz with Alan Purser, Bradley Tidwell with Kenny Bourgeois, and the Jeff Shrewsbury situation, they're going to only have a couple of laps left on that one.
Absolutely, I think now could probably well be their time if they want to be aggressive a little, get that position. Otherwise, they would have to settle in for where they are in the race. I think so far as we look at Jeff now, just behind, ahead of Barry Acker and behind Jonathan Williams and Tidwell, but I think they're as far away as around the outside is going to go for that. And there's the incident. That's a little contact, and that both of them go wide. That's what I was talking about. That some aggressiveness some of these drivers have to show out there, but that could end horribly wrong. So for some and not for others. And I think again Jeff has managed to escape out of that. And with that, surely might have had some damage, but at least he hasn't had his race ended. But the one he collided with might have ended theirs. That was a horrible incident, not too horrible to say, but obviously the timing this has happened as it was just coming towards the end of the race. Now he's been feeling so bad there for the driver. You got to be for all the hard work they do, and that comes to an end like that towards the end, just with a bit of a contact that means nothing if they're not doing much at all.
Hold on a minute here. I wondered what Tarina is saying. Was that on the broadcast, Tarina, you heard him? So I'm a little bit worried on that one if it was, because you shouldn't be hearing anybody on this one. Or is that in your house? So there we go. Kenny Bourgeois, Tidwell still fighting out. 3 minutes on the clock. Van Rooy now coming in through the roller coaster section. It's going to be 1 and 1 more. And David Van Rooy coming around the final corner over the line. He's going to go 3 minutes onto the clock. It's going to be 1 and 1 more. So there we go for us here. And Barry Acker, he is in the mix. He's fighting with Quinton Price. Quinton there in the McLaren. Acker in 4th and 5th on that, with Kenny Bourgeois still leading in front. Jonathan Williams driving around a little bit in no man's land. He's got 19 seconds to Quinton Price and Barry Acker, and he's got a long old gap to the boys in front. 9.5 minutes there. So lots of action still to come, but it is David Van Rooy, your leader, coming through the final stake section. And there is Van Rooy, been out, been dominant all race. Zabi, not really anything for David Van Rooy to worry about.
Not at all. I think he's taken it every single lap smoothly done. Surely at the some parts of the race we saw the gap wasn't much between the top two, but still he kept it there and kept it smooth, and so far he's been doing that, as well as he's just going to clear that back marker. I think still at this time he just has to do what he's been doing since the start and simply get to the line. I think it would be a quite dominant victory, as you said, as that has been the case. I haven't seen him lose the lead since the start of the race, even once at all, if I'm not wrong there. He's led since the start out there.
Yeah, he has. Van Rooy's done an absolutely incredible job. Not really been under pressure. He's not really been under any hassle whatsoever. He's just gone about his business and absolutely dominated this race. Now he starts that final lap here for David Van Rooy. Keep an eye out, guys, what's going to happen in around him. But it is the final lap, for Venroy. 1 minute 18 to go. He's got 17 corners left. He's going to be doing an absolute great job. It's been pure dominant here this evening. Bourgeois, Tidwell, they're going to have one more to go as well. Here's Zabi. Doesn't look like Tidwell's quite able to get past Bourgeois. We know that Mustang's got some speed down the straight, and it looks like Bradley Tidwell just can't match him with it.
Absolutely, and I think that Mustang surely keeping up and saving all those drivers that are in there pretty much, not only the straight line speed, as I said, the Porsche, the Bradley Tidwell was in the Lamborghini, but even the Porsche drivers that were trying to attack the Ford in any class they were just getting closer in the corners, but just on that straight line, that seems to be smooth for them as Kenny's going to go through on those back markers, and now Bradley Tidwell still going to be close enough to Bourgeois, but not quite close enough to make the move. I think surely he could send one in, but I think he doesn't need to do so, as we saw what happened earlier with Jeff and the other driver out there just going for it, trying to be too aggressive. And I think as his best chance and his best probably would be P2 in Pro-Ams here for Bradley Tidwell today, and I think he should take that proudly instead of trying to go or do something that's going to probably ruin both of their race. Definitely they want to be finishing up 1-2 in Pro-Ams, but they and there we go, as we're seeing with so much now, the gap moving up the order.
I'm going to just cut in for 2 seconds. It is David Van Rooij's going to be going over the line in the pros. Van Rooij's going to take today's victory here at VIR. He never looked remotely under any pressure whatsoever. Heron's going to come over the line in second place. Merriam's going to be over in third, and Ryan Merriam there once more. Now, what's going to happen in the Pro-Ams? Where is the Am? He's behind the Pro-Am at the moment in time. So Kenny Bourgeois going to look like he's going to take the victory in the Pro-Ams here. He's done a great job. He's been fighting Tidwell all the way through, but it looks like Bourgeois is going to come out on top. Tidwell's going to come in second. Williams will come in at third place, so a great job from him. Jose Valentin looks like he's going to take the victory in the Ams.
Yeah, really, all those drivers till the end. I mean, everyone fought for a victory, especially in the Pro-Am class for that 1-2, but obviously not able to get ahead of the Bradley Tidwell just a little bit. And now we're looking at Jose now currently in first place, coming towards the last few corners, towards the end. Should feel good for him taking victory in AMs there. So they've got a few corners to negotiate through before he gets to the final corner there, but he's not many before he can taste the victory in the AMs now. Jose in that Porsche car number 29 gained 2 positions where he started from, and towards the end he comes home to win in the AM class and takes victory there and that top step in AMs. And in second place is going to be Kunfer there. If you could see some of him out there as we're looking at Jose. It's finished, okay.
Yeah, Clyde Comfort's come over the line. He has finished. Anthony Hutchinson is the last driver to finish off. We'll be able to bring you up the results of this race now. It is, as you can see, currently on your screen, David Van Rooij is your winner, with Josh Herron in second, Ryan Merriam in third. Damien Horvath comes over the line in fourth. Cole Modric holds on to be in front of Bradley Lovins. Philippe De La Cruz in seventh. Kenny Bourgeois wraps up the AM win. Bradley Tidwell takes second place there in the Pro-Ams. Marshall Crocker Jr. in 10th. Jonathan Williams rounding out the Pro-Am on that one. Quinton Price in 12th. Barry Acker 13th. Jess Shrewsbury, Mitchell Bowen, Rick Modric, Jeremy Cheney. Jose Valentin wrapping up the AM win. Great job from him, with Anthony Hutchinson and Clyde Comfer in behind that. Brian LaPratt in 21st. Alan Purser, Joey Means, James Hillerick, Gary Spencer, Heath Ollinger, Curtis Matthews and Michael Chaplin. And then moving on. Oh, come on, behave yourself. Thank you very much. Moving on from that is Dan Svorak was in there as well, with Brian Hoskins, Cody Bonte, JT Sawyer, Jeff Sepulveda, Mike Elliott, Chase Allgray, Cameron Risley, Matthew Brennan, Nick Marshall, Bill Backer down 8 laps there, with Pernell Hanley, Eric Gainsell, Jim Cunningham, Sean Riley's, Carlson Carroll, Bolton, Parfitt, Gibbons and Burkhart, who did not take to the start, unfortunately, for them guys. Right, we're going to have a chat now with some people, if they can get them into the booth, and we'll have a chat there as well. Nicely done, Tidwell. Yeah, great race from him and Kenny. So, yeah, him and Kenny Bourgeois had a lovely little battle there. So, fair play to them for having a go on that one. But Zabi, the racing out there, it was very, very good. Few mistakes, but kind of expected. Right, next up in the booth, we're going to bring in your winner. One, Mr. David Van Roy there. Two on the bounce for David. He's becoming a little bit dominant here. Maybe we'll have to give him a little bit of ballast for the next one. David, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really good. Really good. I don't know about the dominance thing. This one was a little bit lucky because just kind of got out and everybody else was kind of racing. I think it looked like behind me, but it looked like pretty exciting behind me anyways. But nah, it was good ride today. Yeah,
you took the lead. You went out. You led going into the pits. You led coming out of the pits. You just led, David. You know what I mean? Are you a lover of VIR? Because I know there was a lot of people that aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I hated it on Monday and Tuesday. Started to like it on Wednesday and Thursday. It was kind of one of those things. But no, I mean, I think I'm just real happy with it. One mistake really across the race that I had an off track. The rest of it, I think, didn't make any big mistakes where, you know, it was going to cause the back end to come around, which is so easy to do here on this track. And, you know, it was really, really good. I'm tired because it's a lot of action on that track for sure, no matter what you're doing. So, yeah.
Back markers are plenty.
Lots of back markers. The good news is, you know, really everybody was super courteous and kind of finding the right spot to let me go around for the most part. You know, I think it was good. I tried to thank everybody as we were going around them. Some of them are a little bit harder to do as you're trying to turn and press talk buttons at the same time. But these guys are getting really good at just kind of recognizing what's happening and you know, finding the right spot to let me kind of get around so we're not hanging up everybody. But no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Well, David, thanks so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Hey, appreciate you guys, what you're doing. Bradley, again, nice job as always. My wife, my family for watching and kind of supporting me. And yeah, thankful we have the opportunity to be with you guys.
Awesome stuff. David, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Right, next up on the booth, we're going to have a chat with Ryan Merriam up one place from fourth to where he finished in third. Having a fight with Josh Heron. Looked like they were kind of stuck together like a little bit of Velcro. Didn't seem to be able to get past him. Couldn't seem to get past him, but he finished in third place anyway. Let's have a chat with Ryan here as well. Ryan, welcome in, bud. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm good, thanks. How you guys doing today?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad. Probably seemingly a little bit less sweatier than you are, of course. How was it out there?
I'm happy with it. Just trying to bounce back off a pretty bad display last week, and you know, I had an early slowdown, which kind of got me back a place behind Alan there, and I managed to get back by him. And yeah, after that, it was basically just follow the leader with Josh. You know, I felt I get up on him, and then every time I would, I'd make a mistake, and I'd lose a second or two and have to start over. And you know, I was getting a little bit lucky with traffic where I was able to follow him through where he was kind of having to push his way through. So overall, it was a good race. I wish I took a shot at him once or twice when I had the chance, but maybe next time.
Yeah, how tough was it out there? Back markers are plenty, I think, on this kind of circuit.
Yeah, I think we had 49 cars on the grid, so I think that's our most biggest showing so far. So the pace difference was pretty big, so we were hitting traffic quicker than I thought we would. I, you know, overall had a pretty good experience, but you know, it's always a gamble what's going to happen. There's always a few close calls with here and there when someone goes left and you think they're going right. So you know, overall it was a good race.
Yeah, going to Le Mans next week. How do you feel about Le Mans?
Well, not too good really. I think Van Roy is he proves that he can drive the Mustang pretty much anywhere. But if any track suits it, it's that. So it's going to be even tougher to stay close to him next week. And I don't really have much experience there, so it'll be a learning week for me, and hopefully I can shoot for the top 5.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough on the power of that Mustang. I can tell you much of that one on that one. But Ryan, thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Probably just the usual guys, mom, dad, you guys as well. You guys do a great job. Looking forward to watching the race. Congrats to David today, man. He drove right away. He had no contest by the looks, so big congrats to David today, and hopefully next week we can give him a little more trouble, or maybe the week after, I should say.
Yeah, maybe on that one, Le Mans. It's going to be interesting to get 49 cars around Phillip Island. I can tell you that one much.
Oh,
Ryan
God.
as well. I know. Tell me about it. Right, buddy. Have a good one. And, well, I'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys. Take it easy. See you next time.
That's it. All right, next up is the second place man, Josh Aaron. Another one.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man. How are you? Stuck with Ryan behind you. Didn't really go forward. Didn't really go back. Stayed in the same position you qualified in there, buddy. Second overall. How was it?
I'm definitely happy to have finished second. I don't think I would have caught David no matter what happened, but Ryan definitely kept me honest and kept it interesting the whole time.
Yeah, it was great because every time I went back, I was like, oh, Ryan is still behind Josh. And Ryan is still behind Josh. He did say he regretted not having a couple of goes at you when he should have done. Did you think he was going to come at you?
He got pretty close a couple times. I think he could have got in there next to me on turn 1. I wasn't defending it because he wasn't really going for it, but he probably could have snuck it in there. Every time he would catch up, he didn't go for it, and then he'd make a little mistake. I'd see him drift back, and then I would hit traffic. I would have to slow down, and then he'd catch right back up again.
Yeah, it's tough out there. We said about traffic, didn't we? And it was always going to be very tough out there for you guys as well. Seemingly, traffic come by a little bit more thicker and faster than what you thought.
Absolutely. It was like a couple laps in, we started passing people already. And straight line in the Porsche is awful trying to pass traffic if they don't give it to you. But through the turns, the braking zones are very different compared to what some of the guys are doing. And then some of the people running the slower lap times, they're pushing as hard as they can, but so am I. And we're braking at very different points. I got almost hit a few guys, but we made it.
Yeah, you did make it through there, buddy. Well done for you on that one. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh, yeah, definitely. My girlfriend, my daughter keep themselves occupied so I can do this every morning. And just Bradley, the guys at everybody at OGRL puts us on. It's a great league, best I've ever been in. So thanks. And you guys put on a good show. I always love watching it back when I'm done.
Yeah, awesome, Josh. Well, Josh, thanks so much for joining us, buddy, and look forward to seeing you at Le Mans next week.
I'll be there. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Now, we better have a chat with the man in his bright American liveried machine Mustang. Come over the line in the Pro-Ams one, Mr. Kenny Bourgeois. Kenny, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Good, JP. How are you?
Dude, I'm all right, actually, mate. I'm not bad at all. What was the deal with the livery this week?
I never can make up my mind.
It was a very bright and beautiful American-themed livery, Kenny.
Yeah, well, I love orange. You know that. I've always run the orange. So I just kind of cleaned it up. Just made it a little bit less popping. So I don't know. Just change it.
I think we might have had different liveries on here then, Kenny. Can you see my screen in Discord?
No, I don't even. How did I place? I don't even know yet.
Well, you won Pro-Ams. You finished first, 8th overall. And your livery is an American flag livery.
Oh, really? Okay. That's not the one I put on.
Well, that is the one I've got showing and has been showing all the way through the race with America printed across the front.
Well, it's fitting. We raced at Virginia, so I think it was fitting.
It was fitting there as well. Listen, is that your first win in class?
No, I had a couple of wins in the first season.
Yeah. But going forward, how's the Mustang going to do at Le Mans?
I think it's gonna be good. I mean, it's got good speed, so I've done a few laps, but you know, I gotta go practice, man. It's not one of my tracks I'm always racing at, so it's gonna be new.
Yeah, it's not everybody's favourite circuit, to be honest with you, sir, and it's not my favourite circuit, I've got to be honest. It drives me crazy, to be fair, but I'm sure some people will love it, and I'm sure some people will hate it. But Kenny, I look forward to seeing how you get on there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, JP, I'm gonna shout out to my wife, man. We had a hurricane and we were behind on everything, and she was nice enough to let me race this morning. So when I get off of here, I got so much to do. So, you know, shout out to her. She puts up with a lot of my stuff. So, and you guys, of course, y'all do a great broadcast. I can't go watch it. I can't wait to go watch it. So.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that you guys are all right, being down there. And after the hurricane, Kenny, it's been a pleasure talking to you, as it always is, dear sir. And I'll look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care, bud.
Y'all too.
Now, there you go. That was Kenny Bourgeois there as well, joined us for his Pro-Am victory. Well, Zabi, that brings us to the end, buddy. How was it for the first time on OGRL for you?
Absolutely. I think great racing overall. Like in each of the classes, we had fantastic battles all over the race, and I surely enjoyed. Hope you did so as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to bring the broadcast to the end. Thank you so much for joining us on that one, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Le Mans. Don't forget, plenty more action coming up here on the JPB YouTube channel today alone. There is still another free broadcast to do. We've got 2 down, 3 more to go. So join us later on for the TRCLC Sports Car Series for round 1 from Silverstone. We've got Tando's GR86 round 2 from Circuit Zolder. We've got the IGP season round 2 from Spa-Francorchamps. And then if you're a night owl like myself, you've got Super Formula Series round 3 from Spa-Francorchamps. So 4 more to go here as well, and you'll hear my voice on 3 of them. But for now, guys, let's get to wrap it up. Take care, have a great week, and as always, you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.